Greetings and welcome back to Medieval Engineers, and whilst we are here in the Wonder Workshop right now, we're not staying here because this is not a Wonder Workshop episode. This is something a little bit different, something that we're going to try. What do you think of my new threads, by the way? Bit more wizardy, bit more of a wizard colour, look a little bit like sort of purple / lilac pyjamas, but it's the best that we can do at the moment. As I was informed by Warregery, is that how I pronounce that, on Twitter, I can actually take on the barbarian skin if I want to, but as I can't change the colour, I couldn't make it sort of wizardy coloured, so I decided to stick with the old Medieval Engineers outfit, even though it's not the most wizardy that there is. Anyway, let's jump into first person and let's stop faffing about. Flying mode, flying powers on, magical flying powers. I love the way I just sort of stand nonchalantly in midair. It's awesome. Right, anyway, so what are we doing? Well, there's the Wonder Workshop, and as you can see, there are no minions around. There are never any minions around, because they're always out to lunch. But there are masses of them here in the Wonder Workshop, and they've gotten a little bit tired of sleeping on the floor. They're not allowed in the house here, even though I don't use it, because this is the Wonder Workshop. And I've gotten tired of them kipping on the ground floor of the yet-to-be-named Impossible Tower, which will be named shortly. I think in the next proper Wonder Workshop episode, I'm going to present the short list of names for the tower, and we will finally get around to picking a name. So if you've got any names you want me to consider, now is your last chance to submit them, and I will be selecting probably 2 or 3 from that list of all the suggested names, and people can vote on them, and we will pick a name for it, and it will be finally named. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. We're going to actually be building in this episode, so rather than building off camera and then showing you the end results as I have been doing for the Wonder Workshop episodes, this time around we're actually going to be building on camera. But what are we going to do? Well, as I say, the minions have gotten tired of just sort of sleeping on the floor and stuff. They've decided they want a bit of independence, which is fine. You know, they're allowed. They are my minions, but you know, I'm a benevolent overlord, so I have constructed this road. It's a bit rudimentary at the moment, I'm not going to lie to you. It's pretty rudimentary, and it just leads out here into the hills, into the valley here, and out here we are going to build the Minions village. That's right, they're going to get their own little village for them to live in and work in, you know, and they can have their little minion families and everything here. It's within sight of the Wonder Workshop there, so I can keep an eye on them. And it's not too far for them to walk to work, you know, in the morning or in the evening, depending on whether they're on the night shift, or whatever else. I've kind of slightly prepared the ground. As you can see, it's a bit messy. I don't really have any plans for precisely how this is going to evolve. If you have any suggestions, if there's buildings you think I should add, or if you've got ideas for sort of, you know, what components for the village that we need to start building, let me know. Leave it in the comments. For now, today, we're just going to start by building a little bunkhouse, just so they've got somewhere to crash when they're out here. And we're just going to add organically. Buildings are going to grow up. I'm not quite sure where the path is going to run sort of through the village itself. I'd quite like it to be a little bit windy, but we'll see. I think this area here is where we're going to build. To begin with. So let's bring up our toolbar. We're going to lay a foundation. Now that's probably a little. Ideally, I'd quite like it to be down a little bit, I think, but it's fine. It's just going to have to be like that. It's going to be on a little mound, so that's just the way it's going to work out. The bunkhouse is going to be on a little mound. I think we're going to do 3. We don't want it to be massive. It's just the first building. Let's set our sights reasonable. So this is just the foundation. It's going to be like a normal wooden building. The minions, they might have some stone buildings here. We'll see. We'll see what gets added over time. Right, there we go. It's not huge, but it'll do. Let us put on all the blocks that we're going to need to build this out. So basically we're going to want walls with windows, walls with doors. We're going to want wooden wall slopes. We may want a wooden wall top because we're an odd number of blocks wide. What else are we going to want? We're going to want a nice thatched roof on there. We might want the hay top as well. We're going to be building on the edge of the blocks. So along like that. We'll come back and we'll put like windows and stuff in a minute. Along like that. Bam. Through the back wall. Now, like I say, I don't have any sort of like advanced plans for this. We're just going to see how it evolves. I don't really want these foundations to be visible, so I'll probably try and raise the terrain up just to cover them. I think we're going to try maybe having this offset. Oh, no, we won't. I can't. Things have to be symmetrical. They don't have to be symmetrical, to be fair, but just sometimes they're nicer if they are. Right, let's do the top. There. Like so. Side pieces. What are you doing? It can be... There. Ah! Put it in the doorway. That's not where we want it. You know, it can be a little glitchy. It can be a little... Let's delete that in case something goes wrong. Fine, that goes there. Let's put that back on top. Like so. Or, there we go. So we get one of those there. Turn it around. One of those there. Turn it around. And then... Perfect. Bish, bash, and... As they say, bosh. Put the roofing on then. This is all coming together fairly quickly, actually. That's not... No, that's not right. It's not right at all. Put a window in there, seeing as we've created a hole. Good, fine. Let's put this on. So, like so. And like so. That is... Not only is that not right, it's completely impossible. Get gone. Get ye gone! Broken roofings, right. Like that. Exactly like that. They can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but you've just gotta be patient with them, and you've got to sort of double check your placement when you're doing it, because if you put it in the wrong place, it can be bad. At the top, yeah, and then another one on the other side. Turn that around like that. Oh, this is coming together nicely. They're gonna love it. The minions, they are gonna love it. All the way along again. So I'm just holding control to let me place multiple blocks in a line like that. And that is how easy it is to whack up a pretty little building. Let's put some more windows in. We'll put one in there. Of course, I've now broken the roof, so I'll have to fix the roof. So I should have done this. I should have done this before. We'll put windows in the other side as well. There, and we'll put one there. And then the roof. Nope. Oh, that's actually fixed it. Somehow that's actually fixed it. Well, I don't know how, but it has. Let's do it again. Let's just do it again. If it fixes it, it fixes it. Who cares, you know, how we got to it. Superb. Right, lovely little starting bunkhouse structure. I found the best thing with terrain is just to click once and place, and not to try and sort of drag it around and paint with it. Lovely jubbly. Look at that coming together. It's coming together nicely, and we just need to finish off these corners so that it's sitting nicely on this little mound. And then we'll do the interior, and there you go. That'll kind of be it, I think, probably for the first episode. I mean, like I said, I'm not sure. This is an experiment. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know how much editing it's going to need afterwards. I don't know how long it's going to be. You know, I quite like the idea of building out a nice little village, because it's got such amazing assets, this game. And who doesn't like a quaint little medieval village? I mean, it's got to be fantastic. And as I get better at using these terrain tools, I really want to do the landscaping justice around this village as well. I don't want it to just be, you know, like a big flat square with a village on it. I quite like there to be like height variations, little cliffs like this sort of bit that I did here. I know it's got kind of flower star things inside it at the moment, which needs to be sorted out, but you know, I really like these kind of like jaggedy cliff things. It's one of the beautiful things about the V-Rage engine, as opposed to simpler voxel engines like Minecraft and stuff, where this actually lets you have these kind of like smooth voxelated terrain. A bit like Voxel Farm, not as sophisticated, to be fair, as Voxel Farm, but nonetheless, it's fantastic. I mean, it's really nice. Right, let's have a look inside the bunkhouse and decide what we're going to do in here. Do we want to partition it off maybe into like a living area and a bunk area? Should we have the entrance bit here just as like a living area? I guess this partition's going to have to go all the way up to the ceiling. There, like that. There, and then like that. Of course, once again, I've probably messed the roofing up outside, so I'll need to fix that. We'll go outside. We'll do that in a minute. Should we put a fireplace in? Do you think we can build a fireplace? I don't even know, honestly, how I would build a fireplace in this game. Let's have a look. What might make a good fireplace? Maybe we can do it with stone pillars. Stone pillars are kind of good for lots of things. We kind of go like that, and then that. I think we might have bitten off slightly more than we can chew here. We can put one of those there. That kind of gets us part of the way. And then, well, that's going to have to do. We'll just have to pretend that that is a nice fireplace. I suppose actually if we deleted the wall, are we getting overly fancy here? If we delete this wall and we actually put in, that's just silly, isn't it? Have a massive great big thing like that. Sorry, see, this is why perhaps it's not a good idea for me to build as I go, because I get kind of like these random ideas, and then they don't quite work out, and I spend quite a long time faffing about trying to make them work, even though it becomes clear relatively quickly that it is probably impossible for it to work. It's just not going to work the way I sort of expect it to or would like it to. Yeah, it's just not going to work. It's not going to work, this idea that you've had. So forget about it. Forget about it. Maybe instead we could do... You know what might work? We use that. Like that. That. Yeah, this kind of works. This kind of works, and then we go back in and we put our things in. It's going to be a pretty weird looking fireplace, I'm not going to lie to you. But it's slightly better than nothing, maybe. Is it? Slightly better than nothing. Put that there. Alright, let's put a fire bucket in there. Like that. It's almost a fireplace. It's almost a fireplace. If you kind of like squint a little bit, then it's a fireplace. Fine. It'll do. It'll do for now. Let's get some beds. Let's furnish this thing up, and then we'll call it done, I think. How many of these do we want? Doesn't have to be perfect. You know, it's nice if things are a little bit rustic. But it'd be... Should we leave it like that, and then... I don't want everything to be all kind of like, you know, perfectly symmetrical and stuff. We just come in here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beds. Can we bunk these up like that? I mean, you know, it's floating. I will grant you it's floating, but that's not necessarily like a terrible thing, is it? In a Wizards Minions Bunkhouse. Maybe we can do something about that in a second. Dressers down for them to store their stuff in. One there. A couple here. Maybe at the foot of the beds as well. Sunk down a little bit. Oh yeah, perfect. Look, they're like little chests at the foot of the bed. Come on, down you go. Yeah, nice. There, and one more. Fantastic. Let's get some light in here so we can see if we've made it look utterly horrendous, or if it's okay. We'll give them each their own sort of light next to the bed. It's like a bedside lamp, bedside flaming torch in a wooden house. This one here. There we go. There we go. That's all right, isn't it? With the floating bunk beds and the little chests at the end of the beds. I think that's all right. Should we have one more torch here? I think lighting is still kind of bugged because of the curse of the shaman in the Fallen Forest. So it may well work better in other things, but you know, there we go. That's all right. That's a pretty decent bunkhouse. Room for 10 minions to lay their sleepy heads and rest up. Plenty of headroom. Nice kind of fireplace. Out here, if we just pop down a table. Should we make it sort of longish? Like a double-length table, and give them some chairs so they can all sit around. This is kind of like we just kind of block these out, and then we may come back and kind of give them slightly more or looser chairs or something. There we go. There we go. That's all right, isn't it? Some barrels in the corner to store their wine and beer and other minion like beverages. What is a minion beverage? What beverages would minions drink? I don't know. Do you have the answer to that question? Probably not. But if you do, let me know. Fantastic. Wonderful. Oh, I really like this, actually. I really like this. I wasn't expecting it. I mean, it's super simple, to be fair. Should we give them an outside lamp as well? Like that. That's loose. We'll probably knock it over, but, you know, that's pretty good. Flag. Should we have this hung over the door? Like that. Ah. It's the Minions Bunkhouse in the Minions Village. I probably won't do kind of strict naming competitions or anything, or sort of like even necessarily solicit names specifically for a particular thing. Just generally, if you see something and you want to give it a name, chime in with the comments. Shall we just see if we can use these timber things to make the floating beds appear to not float quite so much? Okay, maybe square. Oh, gotta be perfectly spot on. It's oh no, I don't know where that went. Come on, come on, there. Well, it's a little bit cumbersome, but it's not floating. What do you think? Do you prefer the big blocks, big square blocks holding up the bunk beds, or do you prefer the magical wizard floating bunk beds? Let me know. Let me know what you think, and I will do the rest if people think they need to be supported, or I will remove those and make them all floating. If people think that magical floating bunk beds are appropriate for the Minions Village. Okay, great, fine. That's it. We're done for this episode. It's been hopefully probably about 15 to 20 minutes after editing. We will find out. Let me know what you think of the format. Does this work for you? Do you want to see more of these sorts of things, or did this not really work? Is it a bit boring to watch me building? Was I able to maintain an interesting commentary? I don't even know at this stage. I will find out when I watch it back. I probably wasn't brilliant, but it is the first episode, so I may improve. You never know. I may improve. Great! There we go. Well, the Minions Village has been started. The first building is up. They've got a bunkhouse. Oh, they're going to be so pleased with this. They're going to be so pleased. Look, we can peek in through the window at the floating beds and the little fireplace that they've got. I mean, admittedly, the chimney just kind of stops. Gonna have a think about this and see if there's any way we can extend this up and make it look like a proper chimney's coming out of the top. Maybe modders have solved that problem. I don't know. We'll see. The next thing I might do actually is a little well. Plus, of course, the minions, whilst they've got, now they've got somewhere to sleep and they've got somewhere to eat, but they don't really have anywhere for entertainment. So maybe like a tavern or something along those lines, something that they can go to and hang out and chill out when they're not at work, which isn't very often, to be honest with you, because generally I work them pretty hard, except for all the time that they're off having lunch wherever it is they go. I don't know where that is either. At least they will have somewhere to come whilst they're away on lunch, if we once we've got this place sorted out. Anyway, fine, that's enough. That is enough for now. I've been rabbiting along for more than enough time now. I have been Weird Wizard. Thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I will see you later.